Hi sweet friends, welcome back to a new video. I'm so glad that you're here. If this is the first time that you're watching one of my videos, it's nice to meet you. My name is Maddie and I'm a second-year kindergarten teacher in Florida, currently teaching fully online. And today I want to share with you some of the things that I have planned for our 100th day of school celebration. Things this year look different than they have in the past. Usually our whole kindergarten team and all of the kindergarten kids dress up like they're 100 and it's so fun. Here's a picture of me from last year and it is a ton of fun. I also filmed a video of my 100th day last year. If you're in person and want some ideas for that, you could check out this video. I'll link it below. But I still wanted to celebrate the 100th day with my kids, and just because it's a really fun time and it's a special celebration of what they've learned so far this year, and it's a big deal. So I've kind of adapted some of the things that we did last year so that I could send them home this year and kind of changed plans a little bit. But just in case you are in that same boat, I wanted to just give you some ideas of hopefully some simple things that you could do if you need any extra ideas. It's also a little bit different because normally our 100th day is in January because we start in early August, but our start date got pushed back to August 31st of this year, I think, or maybe it was even a little later. I think it was the 31st, but our 100th day is not until now the middle of February, and so it's kind of coinciding with Valentine's Day a little bit, but it's still going to be really fun and special. So I'm not dressed in my 100th day Grandma Sally clothes like I was last year because it's still a couple of weeks away at this point, but I wanted to go ahead and show you the activities so that you could be planning and preparing in case your 100th day is coming up soon too. Let's do it! So we have a count to 100 math unit that we have to cover sometime this year, and it was scheduled for us to do after spring break, but as I was looking at the pacing guide of everything, to me, it just makes more sense to do it now since we're talking about the 100th day of school and what does 100 mean. I just felt like it was important to do it now. And we were a little bit ahead of our pacing guide anyway, and so I've kind of shuffled things around a little bit so that we could do the count to 100 math unit now. So this week we've been talking about a row versus a column in a hundreds chart, and we're going to start talking about skip counting next week and counting by 5s and 10s. So everything that I sent home to my kids was in this count to 100 and 100th day of school envelope. So this is the tag that I put on. You can pause real quick if you would like to read it. But basically it just says that there are math worksheets and things for our count to 100 unit, and there are crafts and activities for the 100th day of school celebration. So there's kind of two different things in here. So first, real quick, before I show you the crafts, I'll show you just the two things for our math count to 100 unit that I put in. In January, I started putting in these family learning home newsletters to kind of just explain to the families what we were learning. Although my families are sitting next to their kids while they're doing school, so they get to hear me explain pretty much everything, I wanted to print off these from our curriculum because it's got the learning target and the success criteria, and then some more ideas of what they could do with their child at home. And then I also have these from Tara West that are editable. They're her KinderMath Home Connection editable newsletters. So I actually edited all of this to be exactly what we are learning. So I sent this home just so we could all be on the same page about what the kids are learning. And then I also printed off some worksheets of count to 100 type things. I know worksheets, not always the best. They're not the only thing we're doing, but they are still helpful and necessary sometimes. I've said this before, but especially for my kindergartners being at home, they're getting lots of practice with clicking and dragging and all of that on the computer, but I want them to build the fine motor skills of a pencil too, and cutting and all those things. So we still do have some worksheets. So the main two places that I got the worksheets that I sent home are by Annie Moffatt at the Moffatt Girls. I have her Math Made Fun bundle, and I like that a lot. And so they'll like fill in the missing 100 or the missing number to 100. And then I included several of these roll and cover the sheets that I got from a Kinderteacher Life. I actually just bought these a couple of weeks ago. So I sent home a dice, whatever, in their supply bags in February so that they'll have this for both math and read and roll activities. So basically they'll roll a dice, and then whichever number they land on, they'll say whatever number that is and color it in. Then they'll do it again until they've filled out all the numbers. So there's this one, and then there's also this one that's counting on. So I thought that this would be helpful. So for example, if they roll a 1, 48, 49, and then they have to find a 50 and color that in. So again, this is not all that we're doing for Count to 100. We've got some other like hands-on things and online activities on boom cards and Seesaw and all of that. But these are a few worksheets that I sent home with them to kind of help conceptualize the skill of counting to 100. Are you ready for crafts? Because I am. All right, drum roll. Let's do this. I will try my best to tell you where I got everything from. If it was a TPT product or an idea on Instagram or whatever, I'll try my best to either put a picture here or link it below or both. First up is this 100 chart puzzle, and usually I would have just a few of these laminated, but this year I made 25 individual sets. Yes, my hand hurt quite a lot, but this 100s chart I got from Stephanie at Kindershenanigans. She has an entire free 100th day of school pack that I'll mention several times throughout this video. So I will link to that below, but I just printed off her 100s chart puzzle and I made one sample with like 6 or 7 pieces, and I thought that that was a good difficulty level for them. And so then I just stacked a few together and cut them all at a time. So I don't know if you can tell, but there's different pieces that they will fit together to make a 100s chart. So they've got to figure out what comes before and after. So this is great activity. I was going to show you the necklace next, but it's my favorite, so I'll save it for last. The next thing that I sent home was this My Book of 100. It's by Carrie at Casey Kindergarten, and I will link it below. But basically, I attached this little thing of stickers because they'll need some stickers. Let me take that off real quick. So in this book, they write 10 numbers, 10 letters, and write 10 sight words, 10 smiley faces, write I think their name 10 times, add 10 stickers, so that's why I added in the stickers. I can write 100 10 times, and then they get to choose on the last one. I can draw 10 of whatever they want. Wow, I made 100 things for the 100th day of school. I looked at a couple different of these My Book of 100 books, and I liked Carrie's the best of what was included, so I will link that for you below. Okay, now I'm going to show you some of the papers that we will use throughout the whole week of our 100th day celebration. Although the actual celebration will be just one day on a Friday, I am going to kind of extend it so that we can spill over into reading and writing and, tie in all the curriculum areas. So I think the best way to do this is to just hold them up. So I'll do that and show you all of the papers that I'll use for writing time. This first one is what I will be like when I am 100 years old. Again, I've seen several versions of this, but I like this one the best. It's by Carrie at Casey Kindergarten again. So I liked this one because there were different lines and kind of sentence stems for them to think about. So I will have blank, I will live in blank with blank, I will wear blank, I will like blank, I will always blank. And she has a couple different options where you could put an aging booth app picture of the kid and then they're drawing, but I'm just gonna have my kids draw. The next one, I'm not sure how to say her name. It's either Lavina or Lavinia. I'm not sure. I really wish I knew because I like her products a lot. But this is by Lavina Pop. I think that's what I'm gonna go with. But I liked this one because it had the 5 senses, and so they get to say what they would like to smell 100 of, I would like to smell 100 flowers, and what they would not like to smell 100 of. So I think you guys know this, but I do not like chocolate or peanut butter. So Reese's are ugh, worst enemy. No, thank you. So if I were filling this out, I might say I would like to smell 100 flowers, but not 100 Reese's. So I'm excited to see what my kids come up with of what they would like to hear and say and touch and all of that 100 times. The next few papers I got from Amanda's Little Learners. This one says, if you had $100 to spend, what would you spend it on? What did you learn during your first 100 days of school? If you could have 100 of one thing, what would it be? Then this is also by Lavina Lavina Pop, I'm sorry. It's a cut and paste count by 10s to 100, which we're going to start learning about next week. So I thought that this would be just good practice because they can cut them apart and then rearrange them. So I thought that this would be a good practice for them. This next one, I honestly don't remember who I got it from, but I will have it linked below for you. It's a counting to 100 maze, which I think is pretty neat because they'll start at the number 1 right here, and then they will go around. They'll have to connect the numbers, what comes next, and it will make a 100, which is pretty fun in my opinion. This is either from, I think this is from Amanda's Little Learners, but either way, I will link it for you below. This one is from Lavina Pop also. So basically she's got a 100 and then 10 different pictures. So they will count each up and tally them up to write how many they have of each one. I assume that there's 10 of each, but to be honest, I haven't counted, but I know there's 100 total, so we're doing good. Then I included another hundreds chart where they will fill it in. This one's a little bit more blank, so they'll do this kind of towards the end of the unit to see if they've really learned their stuff. This one is from Amanda's Little Learners. This one is from Stephanie at Kindershenanigans. This is Roll and Race to 100. So I think there's a few different ways that you can play this or have your kids play this. My camera's gonna die. Hold on. Hopefully the camera position is not too different than it was. I did take it off of my tripod to switch the battery, but back in business. I heard a door. Okay, I think we're good. The next thing that I included is this Roll and Race to 100. It's by Stephanie at Kindershenanigans, and it's included in that freebie. There's a few different ways to play this, but what I'm going to have my kids do is I gave them the die or dice. I know it's die for just one, but I feel not nice saying that, so dice. So they will roll it, and then say if they roll a 5, then they'll color in 5. Then they'll roll it again, and then if they roll a 2, then they'll color in 2 more. So they have to race until they get to 100 is my plan. I know there's a lot of ways to do this. You could also do like a penny flip, but that's the way that we're doing it. That's the way we're rolling with it. Get it? Sorry. Almost there, just 3 more things to show you, and I love these 3. Next up is this My 100 creation. This is also from Carrie at Casey Kindergarten. I'm obsessed with her if you can't tell. She and Stephanie at Kindershenanigans, like my homegirls. I love what they make. So this 100 creation, Carrie makes some examples of what you can do, but basically they will cut out this number 100 and then they will get to make a design of whatever they want. So like it could be a kid with glasses, it could be a rose, ice cream, something else. But I specifically said, try to think of something different than these examples. Like last year for my example, I did a butterfly. So the 1 was the body and then the 0s were their wings. So I'm excited to see what they come up with. And once they finish, I'll have them take a picture and I'll make a slideshow of them, and we will watch the slideshow kind of like a class book on our 100th day celebration day. Speaking of our 100th day celebration day, we are going to wear these 100 Days Smarter crowns. Up until this year, to be honest, I hadn't been a huge fan of, the decorative crowns, but they've been an easy craft for us to do while the kids are at home. So I got a sentence strip and just folded it into thirds and then used a binder clip to attach it because I realized after either our Thanksgiving or our New Year's crowns that it was kind of hard to tell kids in the moment, like, okay, go find some tape or go find a stapler or something, I don't know. But I realized that if I give them a binder clip, then they are able to clip the sentence strip together. So everything they need is right here and they can do it themselves. So we like that. So I've got this sentence strip that I folded into thirds, and then they will color and cut this out and then glue it on. Then they will get to wear them. I copied this on cardstock so that it's a little bit thicker to stand up so that it's not like, flapping over on their head. I will not be wearing the 100th day crown because I'm going to dress up like I'm 100. I'm not going to ask my kids to do that this year because I thought that with them being home and not being able to go to stores and all of that, I just thought it was a little too much to ask of the families. So I'm still going to dress up to surprise them. So I will not wear a crown because I'm going to have like my white bun and all the things with baby powder, but I think that they will enjoy getting to do this. That also made me remember, I think I'm going to have my kids do a 100 items project. Usually my kindergarten team does not do that because we have the kids dress up instead. But because my kids are at home, I think that that could be a fun and easy-ish project to help them conceptualize 100. So I think I'm gonna maybe look into that this weekend so that I can give the families a couple of weeks to work on it. But I'm going to reiterate to them that it can be something really simple like 100 Cheerios or 100 leaves or blades of grass or I don't know, anything that they already have 100 of and that they do not need to go buy anything or they can just draw 100 pictures on a piece of paper. It's more so just so the kids can conceptualize what 100 really means. So if we end up doing that, I will also make a slideshow of those pictures so that we can watch it on our 100th day together. All right, I saved the best for last. The last thing that we will do on our 100th day is this 100 Days Smarter necklace. So this tag that says 100 Days Smarter I got from the Kinder Shenanigans freebie by Stephanie. And I had this kind of scalloped edge punch already that I got from Hobby Lobby that I've used for like scrapbooking type things. So that was easier for me to just be able to punch them out. But either you could cut out the circles or have the kids cut them out. I think there's 6 on a page. And then now it's story time. These beads are called pony beads, if you're not sure. I was not sure what they were called. I had to Google it. So I was trying to plan for this activity, and I was like, okay, how are we gonna make this happen? Because last year I did this with Fruit Loops, and if you watched my video from last year, you know that that did not go very well. 2 kids strung the whole thing, and then they picked it up to have me tie it on, and then they dropped the whole thing on the floor. And I can't really send that home to my kids. So I was like, okay, we need to have beads. So then I was looking on Amazon with not a ton of luck. It was not going very well. But then I found one listing. Don't get these. Just listen to my story, but don't get these. So I found one listing that seemed like it was perfect. It had like 24 colors. It said it had over 1,000 beads. I didn't do the math. That's not enough. So I asked one of my families, I made a quick Amazon wish list with a few things that we needed for our upcoming units, like the math snap cubes and the foam counters and these beads. Sent it out to my families. They were very kind and like bought the things that I asked for that night. They arrived to me like 2 days later. These beads, y'all, oh my. They, first of all, are in like tiny little holes, and you like have to dig them out. It's very difficult. And then it was just a mess. I'll leave it at that. My mom was very kind in helping me like sort them into the different colors, but we will not go that route again. What I would recommend doing is Hobby Lobby has these pony beads. Much better. They are normally $2, but they put them on sale for half off every other week. So as of the minute that I'm filming this, they're not on sale this week, but that means they should be on sale next week. So I don't know when I'm going to post this video. So just check Hobby Lobby. They're, I think, by the Treehouse Studio brand, but you get 500 for $1, which is a great deal. So that's way more than I got for the ones that I ordered that were like $12.50. For, I don't know, like 1,300 of them. You get way more with this Hobby Lobby situation. So personally, that's the way that I would go, because then you could also just dump each color into like a bowl or bags or whatever, and it would be so much easier to sort. So much easier. And then I included, I don't know if you can really see, but I included the kind of elastic string that they're going to string it on. And that was a whole other adventure, because I was like, okay, well, how are they going to string it on without the beads falling off? Because that was a big problem with the Fruit Loops last year, is that they would finish it and then they would pick it up and they'd all fall. My mistake, I didn't tie a knot. Well, I was thinking that I could just tie on a bead to the end and it would be fine. It's not. They still can slide off. So what I ended up doing is putting a little dot of hot glue. Well, this took a couple of dots, but I put a dot of hot glue on kind of the end so that then when they put their beads on, they will stay. And I made this way longer than they need, but I didn't want them to run out. So then I left enough room that their parents or families can still tie it. So all of that to say, this 100 Days Smarter necklace is how we will finish the day. And I'm hoping that it will be super fun and not crying like the Fruit Loops necklaces last year, because that was not fun. I hope that you found at least a couple of ideas that were helpful if you have not had your 100th day of school yet, or if you're doing maybe a Count to 100 math unit sometime later this year, that you could use some of these ideas. Like I said, I will link all the things that I mentioned in the video below so that you can access them easily. If you're not already, I would love for you to come join the Insta fam and follow me over there. I am a lot more active over there, so I would love for you to come join. I'm really trying to post more videos, more than like my once a month average. I'm trying to get more consistent. So if you have ideas of things that you would like to see specifically, let me know down below or send me a message on Instagram. I would love to hear from you. This community is the best and I'm so thankful for it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!